Hi friends, welcome back to English Stories Cube. Today, we are going to explore a story that is full of mystery, history, and meaning. We will learn how Halloween started, why people honor the dead, and how an Irish man named Stingy Jack became part of this tradition. So, sit back and listen carefully. Let's begin our journey into the past. The beginning of Halloween. More than 2,000 years ago, in ancient Europe, there lived a group of people called the Celts. They lived in the areas we now call Ireland, Scotland, and France. For them, November 1st was the beginning of a new year. But the night before, October 31st, was very special. They called it Samhain, pronounced Samhain. Samhain marked the end of summer and the start of winter, a time when days became short, nights were long, and the weather was cold. The Celts believed that during this dark time, the spirits of the dead could return to visit the living. Some spirits were kind and peaceful. They visited their families to bless them. But others were angry or lonely, and people feared they might bring trouble. Why people honored the dead? People honored the dead because they believed death was part of nature, just like the falling of leaves or the sleeping of the earth in winter. By giving respect to their ancestors, they hoped to receive protection and good luck in the coming year. To keep away bad spirits, people lit large bonfires, wore animal masks, and offered food outside their homes. This way, they could make the good spirits happy and keep the bad ones away. So, Halloween began as a festival of life, death, and change, a way to remember those who had gone before and to prepare for the dark season ahead. How Halloween changed over time. Many years later, the Romans conquered Celtic lands and added their own customs. They celebrated Feralia, a day to honor the dead, and Pomona Day, a festival for the goddess of fruits and trees. Pomona's symbol was the apple, and that's why people today still play the apple game called bobbing for apples on Halloween. Later, as Christianity spread, the church wanted to give people a new meaning for this day. So they made November 1st All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, to remember all good souls and saints. The night before, All Hallows' Eve, slowly became Halloween. When people from Europe moved to America, they carried their Halloween traditions with them. Over time, Halloween became more about fun, costumes, and sweets. But its heart still remembers the old Celtic idea: to respect the dead and celebrate the light in darkness. And that's how Halloween began, from ancient Celtic fire festivals to the bright pumpkin lights we see today. But there's one more story connected to this day, a story that explains why people carve faces on pumpkins and light candles inside them. That is the story of Stingy Jack, the man who tricked the devil. Now, it's time to hear the old Irish legend behind the famous jack-o'-lantern. Let's begin the story of Stingy Jack, the man who fooled the devil. Long ago, in a small Irish village, there lived a man called Stingy Jack. He was clever but greedy. He didn't like to share anything, not even a coin. One dark night, the devil came to take Jack's soul. But Jack didn't want to go yet. He said, "Let's have one drink before you take me." The devil agreed. When it was time to pay, Jack said, "You can turn into a coin and pay the bartender yourself." The devil laughed and turned into a silver coin. But instead of paying, Jack quickly put the coin into his pocket, where he had a small cross. The cross stopped the devil from escaping. Jack said, "I'll let you go, but you must promise not to take my soul for 10 years. The devil agreed and disappeared. 10 years later, the devil returned to take Jack again. Jack said, "Before you take me, please get one apple from that tree." When the devil climbed the tree, Jack quickly carved a cross on the trunk. Once again, the devil was trapped. Jack laughed and said, "You must promise never to take me to hell." The devil agreed and disappeared for good. Jack's fate after death. Years passed, and Jack finally died. He went to heaven, but God refused to let him in because he had lived a selfish life. So Jack went to hell, but the devil kept his promise and would not let him in either. Jack was lost. He could go neither to heaven nor hell. The devil gave him a small piece of burning coal to light his way in the dark. Jack put it inside a hollowed turnip and wandered the earth forever. People began to call him Jack of the Lantern or Jack-o'-lantern. On Halloween night, people in Ireland and Scotland lit lanterns in their windows to keep away Jack's wandering spirit. When Irish people later moved to America, they found pumpkins, bigger and easier to carve. And that's how the pumpkin lantern became a Halloween tradition. The meaning behind the story. The story of Stingy Jack teaches that greed and selfishness never bring peace. It also connects to the old Celtic belief that on Halloween night, the world of the living and the dead becomes close. Lighting a lantern means bringing light into darkness and remembering the souls of the past. And that's the complete story of Halloween. Its history, its meaning, and the legend behind the glowing pumpkins. From honoring the dead to lighting lanterns for protection, Halloween reminds us that even in dark times, light always finds a way to shine. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English Stories Cube, where you learn English through simple and beautiful stories. Happy Halloween!